broken again. To get this quad flying again, today I'm going to replace the flight controller stack with a new product from HGLRC. This is the Zeus F760 Flight Controller ESC Stack, and it's hopefully going to get this brick of a quadcopter up in the air once again. If you'd like to know if this product is right for you, stick around for some quad surgery and let's find out. Come along with me. This unit was provided to me by HGLRC to test out and give a fair shake to, so thanks to them for sending this unit to share with all of you. So let's check out what's in the box. This is the box. The whole package is just this nice yellow bag that I've already torn open. Inside you have just a few baggies, including the flight controller itself. The ESC is over here, as well as a bag of goodies, including wires, hookups for, it looks like there's hookups for LEDs in here, as well as a, looks like there's a nicely wrapped capacitor where the leads are already shrunk, so that's nice too. These very long M3 standoffs will also come in handy, especially if you like the gold color scheme. Eco-friendly? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, you also get your instructions. Check out the product image for this stack. Look how cool Zeus looks in the background, standing mightily atop Mount Olympus. HGLRC, please send me the image. I want to use this as my desktop background. My instructions appear to have some marked up UARTs, so this is probably a pre-production unit that we're dealing with. This is the flight controller that you get in the stack. It is the standard HGLRC F722. I think these are about $27 if you buy them individually. I like the layout of the solder pads around the edges. They also have little castellations around the edges, which are convenient. Sometimes if you have pins or wires, or if you just like to wire things up from the side, you do have that ability. These are plated inside. What I really like about this is that on the flip side, you get this connector right here. We've finally joined the future. This is a USB Type-C connector, and more flight controllers are using these, and I'm very, very happy to see that. These are the future and have been the present for about 3 or 4 years now, and I'm only now just seeing flight controllers with USB Type-C. What the heck is going on? So good on you, HGLRC. I appreciate the Type-C connector. As you probably noticed, the solder mask is a beautiful bright red, so I hope you like bright red and, well, I guess this is kind of a gold. They're going for a red and gold motif with these rubber doopies and these M3 screws, so you can see that that's the colors that they're going for. Kind of reminds me of one of those Avenger characters. I'm not sure which. So like I said, the pads are laid out nicely in a grid to make it convenient for you to solder to. They're actually quite large on this. It looks like anybody with a soldering iron should have no problem attaching wires to these. On the back, you have ports for your GPS and your ESCs, as well as 4 ports for LEDs. If you are a fancy lad or fancy lass, you might want to get yourself some of these HGLRC LEDs that are addressable, and you should be able to control them through Betaflight. I've never done that before, so since we are fancy, we're going to give that a shot. You do have a control button for those LEDs right here on the side. HGLRC says this is to be powered with a 3 to 6S LiPo, but I would like to know what the exact voltages are. I mean, you can just say 3 to 6S LiPo, but what are the min and max ratings that this thing can be powered by? I'd like to know that. Along the bottom, we have pads for your receiver. To the left of that, we have pads for the buzzer. On the left-hand side, you have pads for your VTX, including pads for DJI. Up top, we have pads for your camera. And on the right-hand side, you have your boot button and the LED control button that I mentioned earlier. With all these ports combined, you get 5 UARTs in total. And this is the ESC, 60 amps with a peak rating of 65, able to also accept 3 to 6S lithium power, however many volts that may be. Neat little heatsink they have on here. All of this being handled with BL Heli 32, so you can get the cool ESC tones and really smooth motor handling. The first thing I'm noticing is that there's not really a lot of PCB overhang beyond the 30.5 mounting holes. That's nice because it will help you fit this into pretty much any build. You shouldn't have to worry about making things fit or taking guesstimates when you're trying to make this fit on your frame. I don't know if that's coming through on the video, but there appears to be some flux residue. It's probably a no clean flux residue, but I still don't like that being on there. I'm probably going to clean that off. No clean flux residue is inert. I just don't like it. For this stack, the price is very competitive for a board with an F7 CPU, only $82 from HGLRC.com. I've only just after started writing this review noticed that some competitors are available for just a few American money units less than this sucker right here. Many other competing stacks in this category are $90 or more, and of these more expensive units, I've seen some of them which have a less robust USB connection, a micro USB, instead of a Type-C connector. You know what? Let's put these parts into the frame and see how they build. So I'm putting the final screws in. I've been doing some testing so far. Part of the build got cut off, but that's okay. One thing I did notice is it comes with Betaflight 4.2, so you can expect it to be running at least 4.2 when you get yours. Another thing I noticed is that the VTX connectors are all on the side. You will end up with some wires hanging off the side unless you have ample space above. I do not. I needed to make room for, let's see if we can put that in there. On the top here, you can see I needed to make room for, there's a CADX turtle board in there, so needed to make ample space. The only way to route this VTX wire was on the side. That's okay. As long as I don't smack it into a tree from the side, it should be fine. Okay, so we're out here at the proving grounds. We have the Zeus F760 on board. As you can see out here, it's a beautiful day. We're going to send this thing up in the air and put it through its paces. Buckle up, HGLRC. We are armed and dangerous. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is this thing is actually really smooth up in the air. I'm just using a default Betaflight PID tune, but it looks really good. Just zooming around here. Pulling 25 amps at the moment. So we have a power supply which can handle up to 60 amps. So we should have no trouble with that amount of overhead. But we might have trouble with the trees. I'm flying on a 3S pack right now, so waiting on some 4S packs to come in. Ooh, I'm not used to the fisheye effect on this camera. Oh, there's a tree. You said you wanted your trees cut, huh? Things are looking good, except for that tree. I am seeing a lot of amps. I wonder if my current scale is off, but I just saw over 100 amps. I think my current scale might be off. But this thing is taking it like a champ. So I'm having trouble getting the LEDs to be software controlled, but I got in touch with HGLRC and they let me know that if you're using the LED boards as they're supplied, if you plug them into the ports on the flight controller, you won't be able to control them with Betaflight. In order to do that, you'll have to wire them up directly on the LED pad on the board. So that'll be a project for another day. And that's pretty much it for this review video. If you think the HGLRC Zeus F760 Stack can revive your old quad, check them out at the link below. And HGLRC, I still want that cool picture of Zeus standing atop the mountain as my desktop background, so I'm holding you to it. I'm serious. He's serious too.